Who could have predicted that the moment Robin van Persie scored that stunning volley assisted by Wayne Rooney, it would mark a turning point, and following that, Manchester United would not secure the Premier League championship for the subsequent decade. It was evident to us all that the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson would present challenges. However, as we find ourselves in the year 2023, Manchester United has yet to clinch the title. What factors led to this unfortunate outcome? What role did Glazers play? Is Ed Woodward accountable, or is there a reason why a substantial investment of £1.4 billion hasn't yielded the desired results? Let's delve into these matters. Chapter 1. 8 Managers, Meager Success. A total of 8 managers oversaw Manchester United during this period, with the team securing 3 cup victories. David Moyes, with his impressive 10-year tenure at Everton and extensive Premier League knowledge, was seen as the logical successor to Ferguson. However, it became apparent within just 9 months that the task proved overwhelming for Moyes, leading to his departure in March. In his stead, Ryan Giggs assumed temporary leadership and successfully guided the team forward. Following a disappointing attempt to defend their title, Manchester United chose a path of experience by appointing Louis van Gaal. The Dutch manager had previously led the Netherlands to a third-place finish in the World Cup and successfully attracted notable players, including Angel Di Maria and Bastian Schweinsteiger. However, his inflexible tactics failed to resonate with the fans, leading to his replacement after 2 seasons by another high-profile figure, José Mourinho. José Mourinho's tenure yielded 2 trophies and a second-place finish in the 2017-2018 season, trailing behind City. Nonetheless, his conflicts with Paul Pogba and Luke Shaw had a disruptive impact that wasn't in line with the esteemed nature of Manchester United. In fact, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who temporarily took over, held the managerial position for the longest duration since Ferguson's retirement, leading the team for 3 years. Despite this, a series of defeats in semi-final matches highlighted the potential for Manchester United to achieve better results. The question of succession following the departure of the Norwegian wasn't straightforward. Ralf Rangnick assumed the interim managerial role with the intention of transitioning to a higher position once a lasting successor was identified. However, the Austrian's leadership failed to ignite enthusiasm, and he departed the club during the summer, coinciding with John Murtgau's selection of Ten Hag as the individual to lead the club into the future. Ten Hag's time in charge can be described as a mix of outcomes. While he did lead Manchester United to a Carabao Cup victory, the significant 7-0 loss to Liverpool and the unfortunate departure of CR7 highlighted the ongoing challenges the club faces. In the current season, United's struggles have continued with a defeat against Spurs and a shaking performance against Nottingham Forest. So, overall, if we analyze it, while Sir Alex's approach brought immense success, replicating it exactly wouldn't yield the same outcome. Looking back at the squad that secured Ferguson's final title, aging stars delivered a last hurrah. However, they weren't suited for the following season's challenge, highlighting the need for evolution. Manchester United's struggles stem from their reluctance to embrace change and provide continuity. Solskjaer's longer tenure post-Ferguson underscores this. Moyes, Van Gaal, and Mourinho lacked similar backing, hindering progress. United's penchant for quick change has its drawbacks. Moyes found relative success at West Ham with time. Old Trafford could have seen a similar. Meanwhile, it's been suggested that the influence of Glazers or the management at United might be contributing factors to these challenges, and there could be some truth in that assessment. However, before delving into those aspects, let's take a closer look at Manchester United's substantial £1.4 billion expenditures on transfers since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement and analyze why certain decisions might not have been the wiser. Chapter 2. The £1.4 billion transfer puzzle. Managers like Louis van Gaal and José Mourinho made determined efforts to bring in top-notch players, aiming to finally secure a league title for United. This drive led the club to make substantial investments to acquire the players they desired. Van Gaal invested more than £250 million in building his team, but unfortunately several expensive signings failed to meet his high standards. Similarly, Mourinho set a new club record by signing Paul Pogba, who didn't quite live up to expectations. During a summer transfer window, United invested a record-breaking £220 million to equip Ten Hag with the necessary tools for a challenge. Despite this, the team fell short, even though Ten Hag oversaw a long-awaited cup victory and another potential one in the future. However, it's hard to deny that United has spent an enormous amount of money, only to remain in the top 4 without achieving substantial success. Some notable stars, including the disappointment of Harry Maguire, mirrored the unsuccessful signing of Memphis Depay. It can be argued that several managers lost sight of the club's fundamental approach to acquiring sensible players who fit well and cater to the team's needs. Players like Welbeck and Chicharito exemplify this philosophy. In the past 5 to 6 years, Manchester United has brought in players who didn't necessarily fill necessary roles. Even the return of CR7 wasn't a vital addition. Additionally, the acquisition of Van de Beek went underutilized. Rather than prioritizing tactical enhancements, United focused on a spree of spending. This pattern raises an intriguing point. The owners seemed to be advocating for big signings as a way to divert attention from potential mismanagement, thus alleviating the pressure. And let's now look into United and the Glazers. Chapter 3: The Curious Case of the Glazers. The issue since the 8 years following Sir Alex Ferguson's departure wasn't solely about the right manager. It was also about how the club was organized and run. Many believed that in those years, structure and management played a significant role. Over time, it became clear that Manchester United faced challenges. The focus shifted from trophies to financial gains, unlike clubs like Chelsea, Manchester City, and Liverpool. The owners, the Glazers, seemed more interested in extracting money through dividends, fees, and bonuses than in achieving on-field success. Their emphasis was on securing a top 4 finish, which ensured participation in the UEFA Champions League, thereby generating more revenue. Change in leadership, even if it was someone as prominent as Zidane or Conte, didn't seem to alter the club's fortunes. This was evident when even LVG and Mourinho couldn't deliver as desired. Progress under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a silver lining, with consecutive top 4 finishes in 2 successive years. The squad he inherited was burdened with underperformers and low-confidence players. He succeeded in creating a positive atmosphere, attracting noteworthy names like Cavani, Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo. However, as time passed, some issues became apparent. The struggles were not limited to the field. Disastrous decisions by the inadequately equipped Ed Woodward played a role. The absence of a football director for 8 years was a glaring gap. While John Murtgau and Darren Fletcher did their best, they were perceived as aligning with the Glazers' preferences rather than challenging them. Fans of rival clubs like Chelsea, City, and Liverpool found solace in the idea that Manchester United's competitive edge was diminishing. Some believed that the club wouldn't be vying for major titles for the foreseeable future, and this thought was backed by the fact that the team remained in debt in 2021. Amid this situation, advice circulated among fellow United fans to consider their expectations, recognizing the unending cycle of disappointment that lay ahead. But can United resurge like Liverpool did and win the Premier League and the Champions League? And what can be expected from the boys? Let's see. Chapter 4: What to expect next. Undoubtedly, the road ahead for United will take time, much like the journeys of Liverpool under Klopp and Arsenal under Arteta. While Arsenal hasn't clinched the Premier League, they're certainly on the right path. You see, Manchester United will need to rebuild their foundation and reshape their style of play. This is where Ten Hag comes into play. He needs both time and the right players to weave his vision into reality. Currently, this season has brought its share of struggles, but it's important to note that Ten Hag possesses the right pieces of the puzzle. With players like Mount and Ødegaard facing injuries, the puzzle pieces haven't fully fallen into place yet. However, with their return and some time, Ten Hag can establish a solid foundation that could pave the way for triumphs in the upcoming years. However, one critical factor looms over this journey like a dark cloud: the Glazers. Manchester United finds themselves burdened by a colossal debt of $787 million. Reports indicate that despite the Glazers' announcement about exploring a sale of the club, progress in this direction has stalled. The saga began in November 2022 with the Glazer family's declaration of contemplating a sale. Subsequent rounds of bids have taken place, with Qatari investor Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani and British businessman Jim Ratcliffe emerging as potential buyers. The latest development saw Sheikh Jassim submitting a 5th bid, described as a take-it-or-leave-it proposition. As of now, the outcome remains uncertain. There's been no concrete indication that a sale is imminent. Frustrated by this uncertainty, fans are gearing up to take a stand. Protests against the Glazers' ownership are being organized, highlighting the growing demand for a shift in leadership. United fans are feeling quite frustrated. The Glazers stepped in during a period when Ronaldo and Rooney were leading the charge under Sir Alex Ferguson. 10 years have passed without a title. To make matters worse, Manchester City, previously known as the Noisy Neighbours, have surpassed United to become the top force in English football. Now it's up to Ten Hag to initiate a revival. The clock is ticking, and his game plan could be the ticket to rekindling Manchester United's past glories. If you like our video, subscribe to the channel for more updates. We'll catch you in the next one.